Hey guys, what's up? This is Twisted, and this week I wanted to get another captured footage of the Stone Guards encounter because it was really hard. So how are we going to start it this week? Well, we're going to start it with our monk face pulling, but looks like we're recovering okay, so no harm, no foul, I suppose. And I'm sure he's chuckling right now. If he's watching this narration. Same deal, I took Divine Insight because tanks are still getting wrecked, but something cool this week, our druid that was healing last week is that moon chicken, and the guy who's with me this week is our shaman, so it's a little bit of a roster change. Also, those purple pools don't spawn, or we didn't get the purple combo this week. We got blue in its place, but we still have jade and we still have fire chains. Blue is like much easier to deal with than purple, seriously. And as you can see in this video, we're going to demonstrate how to stand in pretty much like every mine if it's in melee range. Even range. We just this is something that we just did not a good job of avoiding this week. For chain damage, I'm still trying to manage to see who I'm next to, but I'm also trying to minimize movement, and my goal for this week is to get more Divine Insight procs on people. So every time a Divine Insight procs, I'm trying to layer it on a tank, and as you can see here, like my eyeball is looking at Sish's shield, and then as soon as it falls off, I put another shield on him. I'm also trying to maintain grace a little bit, but something that I'm doing also in this attempt, I'm not really paying attention so much to our Death Knight as much as I was last week. This is partly because if he does dip a little bit low, the shaman can always just fling like one of his tidal waves at him because his mastery will kick in. And Death Knight's health, since it is kind of up and down, I'm trying to game his mastery. The damage is still coming out of predictable 8 seconds, so if we just took damage, I try not to play that game. But this is just how I heal differently when someone else is in the group, because I'm not tracking druid hots this week, making sure I don't overheal on top of those. I'm tracking like shamans and I'm trying to work with their rotation. So right here we're dipping really low. It's mostly because of bad combinations of standing and stuff, chains, and just overall dumbness. So this is not like one of our prettiest attempts, but as you can see, what happens when these cobalt mines, which is what we got this week, explode, they just do damage and they root you in place, and since I'm mana strapped, I'm not even bothering to dispel them if someone's rooted in place. So that's how I'm handling it. Something I'm also trying to do is, Divine Star accounted for a pretty significant chunk of my healing last week, so I'm trying to get it out more closer to cooldown because, we're pretty much never sitting at full health here. And I'm also trying not to just spam my shield on people, but as you can see, a couple, the roster changed up a little bit, and some of these new guys don't really know how to manage their chains, so we're still taking a lot of damage from chains this week, but, in the next couple weeks we'll get better at it. But that's just something that, your raid just awareness gets better with chains over time. It's something you have to practice. I think so far we've put in, 35 attempts on this boss, and that's in the first 2 weeks. We spent 35 attempts on Stone Guards, just to give you a number of how long it's taken us just to still work with this encounter. My mana right now, I kind of used probably one too many G heals earlier in the fight, just into tanks. I was just G healing the tanks, and I probably should have been a little bit more conservative, but I'm kind of being more liberal with stuff like that because I did get a few upgrades, and it's not just me who got upgrades. Our entire DPS roster got some pretty significant upgrades since we did this last week, so I'm being pretty stupid with greater heal this week because I kind of figured that my mana can take it, but I actually don't manage it very well and go here, so you get to see what I look like when I'm on fumes, and I'm thinking oh well, maybe I can stretch it this last little bit with some cooldowns. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So I'm gonna try to squeeze out some more mana here, and then I'm gonna try to finish the fight at 0, but you'll see what happens at the end. Don't actually end the fight at 0. And once again, that's what it looks like when you stand in a bomb, and once your chains start grouping your raiders together, those bombs get a little bit more dangerous than they were to begin with. As you saw, I even had a death this week because I spammed my health stones / desperate prayer macro, and I forgot that I pressed it, so I'm sitting there spamming that button and not paying attention to Forte Exorcist and seeing that it's still on cooldown, and I let one of the raiders drop already, so once another raider goes down, we don't have a battle res for him. So I mean, look how far into the fight we're essentially 9-manning this. But you know, it's okay. We're not too far behind on DPS because we're still 2 healing it this week. And even though we're 2 healing it, there's a lot of additional healing coming in. If you saw, our Moonkin use Tranquility when stuff was hitting the fan. Our Shadow Priest isn't using Halo rotationally. He's actually kind of like using it in his rotation. And here's what happens. I'm chained to the other healer. I'm like, alright, there's a mine. Let's go a direction. And we decided to just both go different directions. And we got ourselves killed. He was I was not. So I tried to life grip him to me because there's no problem with that when I life grip him. So, but I mean, it still got us both killed, and our raid just managed to clean up with no heals at the end of the fight. So there you go, guys, a slop kill, but maybe you can glean some new tactics from the roster changes or how I approached it this week.